Tennessee Titans are 0-3 to start the 2025 season, and it was an embarrassing loss at home, 41-20, and the Titans have now lost 9 straight games dating back to last season. So I'll ask the question before we get in today's show. Is it time to fire Brian Callahan and move on as and we get a new head coach in Tennessee? Welcome into Titans Today by Chat Sports. I am your host, Brett Alper. And I'll just come out and say it. I think it is time to move on completely from Brian Callahan. We have seen him try to work this offense. We've seen him try to get better. But from what we saw last year with Will Levis and what we're seeing this year with Cam Ward and the defense, it's not working out. And I think it might be time to kind of move in another direction as you already brought in a new general manager. If you want honest Tennessee Titans breakdowns every single day, breaking down why the Titans should fire Brian Callahan, why they should move on, because it seems like the sky is falling in Tennessee. I mean, Cam Ward does look good, but the season's pretty much over. So if you want honest breakdowns on the Titans, go hit that sub button right now. Just want to show some tweets from yesterday that kind of just explains, and it's putting the Titan season in a nutshell. Nick Wright. Brian Callahan might be the worst at in-game coaching game management than any NFL coach I've ever seen. It is truly remarkable to behold every single week. Yeah, it's not good, and I'll tell you guys why, because it seems like every single week something is happening. Then Terry McCormick. He covers the Titans, and at halftime, they were having a Ring of Honor induction for Mike Keith, and then they were chanting, "Fire Callahan," as they were walking off the field. And which you don't want to hear your fans do that. Thankfully, the Titans don't play at Nissan Stadium for another month, but the fans are getting tired of Brian Callahan, and it seems like the players might be too. Now we go into just how bad the Titans' offense has been. 31st in yards per game. They can't even drive down the field. Passing yards, they're 32nd, dead last at 133.7. Rushing yards, they're 28th in the league. Then points per game, 17th. They are bottom 5 in every statistical category that you can possibly have on this offense. I'm not even bringing up EPA. And you should see the chart that I saw from week 1. You had all the teams and like just a little bit in the middle, and then the Titans are all the way here at the bottom. This offense is a complete joke. And you tried to make it better. Mike Borgonzi tried to give a ton of money to Dan Moore Jr. You tried to improve the offensive line. You brought in an aging Tyler Lockett. And yeah, Alec Manor looks like he's going to be an absolute star in this league. But Calvin Ridley, only 1 catch? How do you make Calvin Ridley, coming off a 1,000-yard receiving year with Will Levis as your quarterback, and now you can't even catch the ball? He looks washed. The offense is a complete joke, and it's making Cam Ward look worse than he actually is, because I think Cam Ward is a good quarterback, and he's shown some signs of potential. But you have no potential in this type of offense. And the game managing is just absolutely horrid. And when I mean horrid, I mean horrid. It seems like every week. Last week it was throwing 3 times. The week before it was not challenging the play. But here's Jim Wyatt kind of explaining exactly what happened in words, so you guys just don't have to hear me. The Titans, down 17-6 at the time, seemed content with going into halftime with a long field goal attempt. It was a 57-yarder. But then they botched that by being indecisive. Brian Callahan couldn't decide whether to go for it on 4th and 1 or kick the field goal. It resulted in a timeout. Then coming out of that timeout, you had to delay a game, and then that made it a 62-yard field goal, and then you missed. You missed out on points. Making matters worse, the Colts got the ball, then went quickly into field position and kicked the field goal of their own, and it was a low light of a bad day. How does this keep happening every single week? Every single week. It's like, oh, Brian Callahan did this wrong. What happened here? Oh, Brian Callahan did that wrong. How does this keep happening? It just proves that you're not a good coach in the NFL if you keep making rookie mistakes. And let's go through every single thing that he's done wrong. And we're only at week 3. Week 3 out of 18. He forgot the rules. Week 1, Alec Manor catches a pass. Elbow goes down. He has no idea to challenge it because he thinks that an elbow, you still have to get 2 feet in. Then you're throwing 3 times at the 1-yard line. You have the ball, and you have a chance to kind of go up. at halftime? Well, you throw the ball 3 times from the 1. You have no nonsense clock management. And then in yesterday's game, delay of game on a field goal coming out of a tight end or coming out of a timeout. That is ridiculous. And then, of course, they asked him, just like they ask of every single week, Brian Callahan, what's your decision, man? And this is what he said. He said, I hadn't decided to do yet at the moment of what we're going to do. We were going to go back and forth, and we wanted a minute to think about it. I was going back and forth between the 4th down call and the field goal and decided to take points in that particular situation, and the operational part of it to kick it on time didn't happen. What do you mean it didn't happen? All you have to do is just say, we're going to kick a field goal. You're supposed to know at the beginning of the drive, hey, if we get down into this spot in no man's land, we'll go for it on 4th down. If we're supposed to kick the field goal, we'll kick the field goal. You cannot be indecisive. It's high school varsity management. High school coaches know better than an NFL coach like Brian Callahan. It is unbelievable how mismanaged this team is, and it's hurting them each and every single week. And it makes the Titans look worse, and the play calling's bad. Overall, it is just a horrid experience if you're a Titans fan watching this team. Now, last week it was a blowout, but the past 2 weeks, you've led at halftime, and then it was the play calling and non-halftime adjustments that completely killed you. It's just bad. It's just really, 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 really bad. And the stats don't lie, but I'll ask you guys. Rank the Titans offense through week 3. Is it good? Is it bad? It's bad. And do you think it's the worst in the NFL? Because I think the Dolphins might be worse than the Titans, but the Titans are down there. So go down in the comments section right now. Going to give you guys some extra breakdowns on why I think that he should be fired. But first, I got to tell you about our sponsor of today's show, and that is Prize Picks. You and I make decisions every day, but on Prize Picks, being right can get you paid. Don't miss any of the excitement on Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. Prize Picks is simple to play. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections. If you get your picks right, you can cash in. Prize Picks is the best way to win cash this football season. Which players are going off, which ones aren't. Make your picks in less than 60 seconds and turn your takes into cash all season long on Prize Picks. Here's the lineup that I made for Monday Night Football. I think Amon-Ra St. Brown is going to go off. I got the more in receiving yards at 71.5. And Detroit's defense isn't that great. Lamar Jackson, give me the more on passing yards, 233.5. And Tyler Loop, 1 field goal. Little angel. Give me the more on that one at 0.5 field goals made. Download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. Okay, so now that we talked about how bad the offense is, because Brian Callahan is an offensive-minded coach. We've seen him work with Matthew Stafford. We've seen him work with Peyton Manning. We've seen him work with Joe Burrow. And they all have success. They all have success. Well, some teams are not taking the Titans seriously either. And this is the Colts. This is Michael Pittman, the wide receiver. And he basically said, hey, they didn't take it seriously and made it easy for us. Saw it in the pregame intros. They kind of looked a little sluggish. They're kind of just walking around. Nobody was really bouncing. Right then and there, we all sat there and were like, they don't want to play today. And the sad reality of that is it's an indictment of the Titans as a whole. They aren't trying. They don't care. And it's week 3 of the season. If Michael Pittman sees that, they're going to take advantage of it. And if it starts with your head coach, because you are going to play how you are coached. And if the head coach doesn't care, the players are surely going to not care. And it's still early in the season, guys. I mean, you're 0-2, but you could boost morale or something. But from what Michael Pittman has said, and you see it on the field because you got blown out 41-20. It's clear as day that Brian Callahan has lost the locker room, and the players are over him. The players on offense, the players on defense, the tackling that you saw on Jonathan Taylor yesterday on that 46-yard touchdown run was pathetic. I know I'm not an NFL player, but I mean, he broke 4 tackles right there. And L'Jarius Sneed, oh my God, that was bad. But on a positive note, Cam Ward looks solid. 23 for 38, 219 yards, 1 touchdown. He did have one of the worst picks I've ever seen with the first minute of the ball game. And it was a pick 6. but you're going to have rookie mistakes. You're going to make mistakes, and you're going to get better as time goes on. And the passing chart wasn't that bad. And people are probably going to look at it like, well, Cam Ward is not throwing over the middle of the field, but he's not throwing behind the line of scrimmage, which we see Jalen Hurts do a lot, and which is kind of pathetic. He's not throwing the ball downfield because this offensive line sucks. He's been sacked the most times in the NFL. How are you supposed to get the playoff over the middle of the field if you have no time? Not to mention, Calvin Ridley can't catch the ball. Jake Okonkwo can't catch the ball. Tyler Lockett can't catch the ball. The only guy who can catch it is Alec Manor, and he's a rookie in himself. I still believe in Cam Ward, but I think that he's going to need a better coach going forward. Going forward, he's going to need a better coach. Now, if you bring in an interim guy that's on the offensive staff, it might get better. You might have a little boost in confidence, but overall, after this season, 110%, you're going to be looking for a new head coach. Brian Callahan has statistically the worst record in NFL history right now. It's time to get a new coach, man. It's time to get a new coach. If you think it's time to fire Brian Callahan, spam your Fs down in the comments for fired. And while you're down there, also hit that sub button. We are breaking it down. And if the Titans make a move, we got you covered with a video. So make sure you hit that sub button. And as always, tighten up.